So we're back with a bonus conversation you'll only see here on CBS News New York. So, Mr. Comptroller, describe your first apartment.
Oh, my first apartment. Well, yeah, I went to college in Chicago, so my first apartment here in New York was on Houston Street, and yeah, it was a little one-bedroom that my wife Meg and I, we weren't even married at the time. We were, I think, engaged at the time. You know, and like the walls were so paper thin that, like, I don't know if a little orange juice splashed on them, you could like see through to the neighbor. But it was great. I mean, living in the Village while she was going to law school in that time was just super dynamic. And loved getting to, you know, whatever, find our little haunts and restaurants. And it was right around the corner from Little Italy, so when her father-in-law came, the guys on the corner were like, don't worry at all, you're covered.
So what does a typical Sunday look like for the Comptroller of the City of New York?
It really depends. The last few weekends, I've been going to dragon boat race practice.
Dragon boat?
Because we're entering a Comptroller team for the first time in some years
in
the
Hong
Kong Dragon Boat Festival. Now, that's this Saturday, well, it's this Saturday and Sunday, but our race is Saturday. But I've been going out to help. The Comptroller's got a boat, and I'm in the boat.
Are you good at it?
I was a canoe instructor at summer camp.
No
many
kidding.
Years
Who
ago.
knew about that? Who knew that you were a canoe instructor?
No one. That's the first time I've ever told.
This is an exclusive here for CBS.
Now I'm a little nervous because we'll have to see how we do in the dragon boat race before we're going against the mayor, the public advocate, and the Queensborough president.
Are they all going to be in their boats?
I don't know whether they're going to be in their boats, but I'm going to be in ours.
But you see, you're a ringer because you used to teach canoeing. So most kids don't dream of being a Comptroller when they grow up. What was your dream when you were growing up? What did you really want to do when you were a kid?
Yeah, I really wanted to be a professional baseball player.
Seriously?
When I was growing up, yeah. I was at the Mets game last night, actually. Yeah, but I got bit pretty young with public service. You know, I worked in affordable housing and community development. I liked that work a lot. I love being in the city council, and I wouldn't have thought about being Comptroller either when I was a kid, or even known, you know, do you say Controller or Comptroller? But when I got in the council, you know, I went in the council thinking, okay, I'm going to pass laws that make it easier to get affordable housing and good jobs, and I loved that. But then you think, okay, can the city deliver on the promises? We're passing this legislation,
right.
But are the agencies really going to be able to do it? Are we spending that money wisely to deliver for people? And I got more and more interested in that, and then I thought, you know, there's a job that's perfect for trying to make city government run better.
But I have to ask you, what position did you want to play if you were a baseball player?
Oh, well, yeah, I think everyone wants to be the shortstop, but believe me, I would have taken any of the positions.
Did you play Little League? Did you play?
I played Little League, I played in high school, but I was not believe me, I was not like, no one would have thought that kid's going to the majors.
So how would your family describe you in 3 or 4 words?
You know, my daughter did this very funny commercial for my campaign for Comptroller, you know, where she talked about how embarrassed she was of me when she was growing up, telling my corny dad jokes and like nerding out over policy and budget. So yeah, that's pretty much how they would describe me. How she did describe me.
How would you describe yourself in 3 words?
I mean, look, I love the city and I work hard for it, and I don't mind if that comes across as a little earnest or nerdy. They're probably right that the jokes are corny. But I don't know, I have a lot of energy for the work. It brings me a lot of joy.
So in this edition of we do this thing where we talk to people called Your Point. We ask people how difficult it was to meet people, and especially after the pandemic. I wonder if you could tell us how you met your wife.
Very good. We were in college, and actually we weren't set up, but there were 2 couples going on a double date. One was my roommate, and then the other couple had a friend of hers. And they each invited us along thinking they were just being sympathetic and that we were going to be the 5th wheel on a double date. They didn't know that the other had invited us. At least they told us that. So we were like accidentally set up. And her name's Margaret, and we went to a restaurant called La Margarita. And then afterwards, there was a poker game at my dorm, and it's the best I've ever done in poker. So I was like, all right, this is a sign, and we've been together ever since.
That's amazing. So what advice would you give New Yorkers who say they're having trouble connecting with people in this post-pandemic age?
Yeah, well, first I would just say, like, let's think about how wonderful it is that we're back connecting. You know, during those early days of the pandemic 3 years ago, I worried, would anyone want to live, work, ride the subway, go to a Broadway show, be in a crowd again? And this summer, you know, you could feel people do want to do that. I don't know. My favorite summer thing are the Celebrate Brooklyn concerts in Prospect Park, which, you know, you can contribute to, but they're
Said
free.
as a former Brooklyn City Councilman.
Yeah, and still a Brooklyn resident. And Central Park has great concerts, and every borough has great concerts. So whichever free concerts you want to go to, I happen to love those ones in Prospect Park. But I think that's such a great opportunity. Like, if you like that band, or even if you don't like that band, it's so great to be outside in the park enjoying the music, and the other people that went to the same concert that you are. You probably got a little more in common with them, so say hello and see where it goes.
City Controller Brad Lander, thank you so much for
Really
being with us
wonderful to be
today,
with
and
you,
thank you for joining us as well.